Witches Hockey Show. I'm the Trev. It's too sweet. It's number 5 for the night, and the last one for the night, because I still have to upload these things. But either way, we're continuing on with regular season awards. This is a 2-in-1. We don't get these very often. Well, I can't say that. We have had a few in the last couple seasons. But anyway, I'm getting completely off point. These two have been a lock for essentially the last 4 months. Maybe not so much the Richard, but the Art Ross, hasn't been going anywhere since before the All-Star break. Connor McDavid wins his 5th Art Ross trophy and his first Maurice Richard trophy. So let's talk about it. So as mentioned, McDavid has won his 5th Art Ross award, or Art Ross trophy, which is presented annually to the guy who scores the most points in the league. And for McDavid and his 153 points, that's the 15th highest point production in league history, passing Phil Esposito, who had 152. Now, McDavid led the board in all categories: goals, assists, and points, with 64 goals, 89 assists for those 153 points. Those 64 goals are also a career high. Those 89 assists are a career high. Should we be surprised at all by this? No, I don't think we should. Now, what's interesting to note here is he was held off the score sheet in only 7 games. Every other game was a point. Isn't that scary? Of course, if you do the math, 153, that's over a point and a point and a half a game. Sorry, just doing the math in my head. Either way, he did have a very streaky season as well, putting together 3 separate 15-game point streaks. So do the math on that one. And like I said, he was at 100 points pretty damn close to, or if not before, the All-Star break. So yeah, the Art Ross wasn't going anywhere. As for the Rocket Richard awarded annually to the player who scores the most goals, this is his first. And I don't want to think it'll be his last either, because, I mean, if 64 goals is a career high and this guy's only entering his prime, it's scary to think what could become next. Either way, as much as I want to say this one was a lock, and it pretty much was, Pasternak was coming up very close, and he was only 3 behind at the end of the day. So it wasn't necessarily as big a lock as I make it out to be, but the fact that Pasternak was playing catch-up, it kind of might have been a lock. But good to see that, it's not just so much setting up the plays, but also making the goals with a kid like McDavid. And again, if 153 points and 64 goals is in his prime, or the beginning of his prime, next year will be scary. But either way, one could say it's about time that he got one of those Rocket Richards to go with his 5 Art Ross trophies. But remember, he was setting up Draisaitl for a lot of the pretty plays in those years he didn't have the Rocket Richard trophy. He could have had 2 or 3 by now, I'm sure, if he really wanted. Either way, I mean, it's exciting to think that maybe there's at least 1 or 2 more in the pipe. Time will tell, right? But it's an exciting prospect. It's also worth noting that this is McDavid's 3rd Art Ross trophy in a row. The last guy to win them consecutively was Jaromir Jagr, when he won 4 in a row in 98 to 2001. So he's joining some elite company here, on top of, his 5th Art Ross, which also includes Jagr, Lemieux, Gretzky, Howe. So add that to your mantle. It's another one of Trevs Hockey Shows. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you're right here. I can't tell you how much that would mean to me if you are right here. And if you are right here, let me know. Hit that thumbs up, that subscribe button. If you haven't hit it by now, come on. It's a great thing. You'll feel good. We're getting to 250. Let's make it happen. That social I never use, it's in the description down below. So move forward. Like I said, tomorrow is another day. And tomorrow I'll have more content for you. But either way, in the meantime, in between time, you look for more videos from the Trev. Later.